Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the Brotel. We finally got the second Shadows of Valentia banner, which features Celica, May, Boey, and Genny. Your chances of summoning one of these heroes is probably not that high, but I'm still going to go over all four of these heroes and give you guys my opinion on each of them. I'll be focusing mainly on their default skill sets with some skill inheritance suggestions on the side. I'm planning on making a best build video for this whole banner, so look forward to that sometime this week. First hero is the star of the banner, Celica, carrying princess. Her max stats are 39 HP, 32 attack, 33 speed, 22 defense, and 22 resistance. A very glass cannon stat spread. I think her stats are fine. If you get a plus speed Celica, then she's like 100 times better. The IVs are going to determine what skills are better for her. With her weapon Ragnarok equipped, her total attack becomes 46. Ragnarok has a new effect. If Celica has 100% HP at the start of combat, Celica receives 5 attack and speed. If attacking, Celica will receive 5 damage after combat. Just to clear things up, if she is damaged and goes into combat, she doesn't receive the 5 damage afterwards. It only occurs if she has full HP. The cool thing about this weapon effect is that it's very good for both offensive and defensive situations. She's gaining 5 speed, so that means even if she has a base speed of 33, she will prevent getting doubled by fast, dangerous blue mages like Lindy and Spring Lucina. That's really important because she only has 22 resistance, so she's probably a goner if she does get doubled by those two heroes. Now, is Ragnarok better than a Blade Tome? Blade Tome is better with the right team, but Ragnarok is better for her as a standalone mage. Her special is Blazing Light. God, I feel like I'm always talking about this special. I despise this special. Cooldown charge is too long and doesn't provide consistent damage. Give her something like Moonbow, Luna, or maybe even Noontime if you want to try to heal her back up. Slot A is a new skill, Distant Defense. If Celica is attacked by a foe using bow, daggers, magic, or staff, Celica receives 6 defense and resistance during combat. Basically, it prevents up to 6 to 12 damage versus ranged enemies. I believe there is no inherent restriction lock on this skill, so you can pass it down to anyone and it opens up more builds for other units. All that set aside, it doesn't fit Celica's playstyle as she's more of a player phase unit. Besides, it only helps her survive 3 more 1-round KOs on the enemy phase. I don't think Life and Death is the best skill for her in the ace slot, at least not for a plus speed Celica. In my opinion, Fury Desperation is a lot better than Life and Death Desperation. Fury has 1 less win than Life and Death, but she doesn't lose any matchups. In addition, she will take 11 damage from Fury and Ragnarok after combat, which will get her perfectly down into desperation range as long as she doesn't have a positive HP IV. Spur defense is kind of whatever, you can use anything in the C slot. Should you pull for Celica? Yes. If we are talking about default kits, then she is the best red mage in the game, but if we're talking about post inheritance, then she falls right underneath Blade Tome Tharja. Next up is May, Bundle of Energy. Her stats are 35 HP, 36 attack, 31 speed, 16 defense, and 30 resistance. So let's see what we got here. Bad HP and defense, mediocre speed, but extremely high attack and resistance. With her weapon equipped, her total attack equals at 46, and her weapon boosts all her stats besides HP by the number of adjacent allies times 2 during combat. So if you have 1 ally next to May, then she gets +2 in everything. When she has 2 adjacent allies, then it's +4, 3 adjacent allies, then it's +6. I see a lot of people comparing this with Blade Tomes and saying that Blade is better because it has 13 might and has a better effect or whatever, so there's no reason to run Blar Owl. Well, I do think Blar Blade is better, but I don't think Blar Owl is that bad, especially on someone who has mediocre speed and high attack like May. 3 adjacent allies is unlikely, 2 is more reasonable, so she will average about 4 speed and total at 35 or 39 depending on speed IVs. She really needs some way to give her more speed, and Blar Owl does that. Without any speed buffs, May is going to be really lackluster. Drawback is real nice on her. May is going to get at least 1 adjacent ally next to her when using this effect. Combos really nicely with Blar Owl. Desperation is her B skill. She will need to be around a lot of dudes in order for Desperation to be viable and have a positive speed nature. The only real way to get her into Desperation range is if she tanks a couple hits from mages or use Ardent Sacrifice. I think she'll just plain out die to almost any physical damage since she only has 35 HP and 16 defense. Blue Tome Experience 3 is her C skill. More XP for Blue Tome users. Feels good, man. Or should I say feels Blue Tome Man. Should you pull for Mei, if you don't have a blue mage, then she's okay to get. She is extremely good against red mages, but they are the rarest mage type in the arena. Mei will probably only be useful during next season when Celica is one of the bonus heroes. The third hero is Boey, Skillful Survivor. He has 43 HP, 29 attack, 27 speed, 32 defense, and 18 resistance. Basically a green Henry or maybe a slower Merrick. Actually, he's kind of in between the two in terms of stats. Boey's not really that exciting. He's a tanky mage that specializes in defense, so the best way to utilize him is to counter physical range units like archers and dagger wielders. The big problem is that he has below average attack and speed, so it's really hard for him to kill anyone, let alone two-shotting most guys. For him to be even favorable in matchups with Ground Owl, he's going to need at least 2 adjacent allies, and if you want to run him as a tank as well as being able to deal damage, then you will need to inherit some expensive skills for him like close combat, or I mean close counter and quick riposte. Otherwise, I think the best setup for him is to run him with a Raven Tome Triangle Adept build. His special is Ignis. Boey doesn't have the best attack stat out there, so Ignis will definitely help him take down enemies in one shot. Bonfire can be an alternative if you prefer a shorter cooldown. Earth Boost is another new skill. If Boey has at least 3 or more HP than the enemy at the start of combat, Boey receives 6 defense during combat. This skill makes him even better for tanking bow and dagger users. Some notable heroes that have less HP than him are Kaguro, Takumi, Klein, and George. It won't help him at all against sword types because all the popular ones have at least 41 HP. Like I said before, Triangle Adept or Close Counter will be the best alternatives. Renewal is his B slot skill. It's okay on him, but he needs other skills to help his speed problem. Boey actually gets 1 round KO by Lindy despite the weapon advantage, so Blue Tome Breaker can help that. Quick Riposte is an option I mentioned earlier. Lancebreaker is the third option, but it really only helps him out offensively to allow him to double lance heroes. Should you pull for Boey? He's only exceptional at being a counter to physical ranged enemies. He still doesn't replace Nino, Julia, or Soren. Bad pre-inheritance and is just okay post-inheritance. I don't think he's worth pulling for. Last hero is Genny, Endearing Ally. There's not that much to talk about with healers, so I'll just talk about stats and new skills. She has 32 HP, 35 attack, 25 speed, 21 defense, and 34 resistance. And man, does she have really high attack and resistance. She has the same base attack as Ike. The other 3 stats are really terrible though. She's not the best healer for surviving encounters since she only has 25 speed. Usually healers want more speed to prevent more enemies from doubling them. Her new skill is Wrathful Staff 3. Damage from unit staff will be calculated the same as other weapons. So this is the skill that will make healers more viable. Staffs only deal half damage, so this skill will basically double the damage from staff users. Is it good on Genny? She can definitely do some work with her 35 base attack. The problem is that the weapon might from staffs are horrendous, and the other issue is that staff users don't have good offensive skills to inherit. Should you pull for Genny? I don't think her default skill is that good. Give her Rehabilitate and I think she becomes decent. If you want to pull for her just to get her new skill, then go ahead. Genny and Elise are probably the best 2 healers for Wrathful Staff. Elise obviously because she has the best offensive stats in terms of attack and speed. In addition, she is a cavalry type so she can get those horse emblem buffs. On the other hand, Genny has high attack with low speed, but the thing is if you have good positioning, you really just need that high attack. You aren't trying to make your healer a primary damage dealer. The healer just needs to be able to finish enemies off, and Genny's 35 attack will allow her to do that. What I think is funny is that if you have a positive attack Genny with a +3 attack skill in the ace slot, she can actually 1 round KO Reinhardt. Okay guys, I think this banner is just average. In my opinion, Celica is the best in the banner. Second is Mei. Third, I would probably take Genny over Boey. Not a fan of Boey's kit. Like I said in the intro, I'll be making a best builds video for this whole banner this week, so look forward to that. In that video, I'll go more in depth about skill inheritance. This video is more like a first impression type of review. As always guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.